We're now on page 22 of your learning file, the rectangle tool. Now from this point in time, we're going to first of all learn about a particular drawing tool, in this case the rectangle tool, and then in the second lesson, part A of this if you like, we're going to start on our business card project applying what we've just learnt. So let's start out by looking at the rectangle tool. Selecting the rectangle tool from the toolbar, or if you like, you can't see it there, click on the little flyout and you'll see it there. So pick from the list, rectangle, click and drag to draw a rectangle, and remember, finger on control constrains to create a perfect square. But I just want a rectangle for right now. I'm now going to select the shape tool, the second one down, the shape tool. And the shape tool is again a tool you'll just use all the time because it will affect all of the drawing tools, and you'll see as we go. So select the shape tool. You'll notice that what happens is 4 little nodes appear on my object. Now remember, my object had to be selected first. If I go select my shape tool, I would then have to click on my object to select it. All right. All I have to do now is click on one of the 4 corners and then drag, click and drag, and all 4 corners round perfectly the same. I can click on any one of the 4 to create this effect. If I want to round only one corner, simply click again on that corner and then round. Now watch this. If I don't click first, but I just simply begin to drag again, you'll notice all 4 corners are adjusting. Okay? So remember, to adjust a corner, you must click on that corner first, then adjust. If I want to readjust, click again, one click, and then I can readjust. Okay? So I'll just quickly delete that. I'll draw another rectangle. As I said earlier, the previous lesson, all of the drawing tools have properties, and those properties will always appear across the property bar here, and we have a number we need to look at. Well, you saw me shape the corners using the shape tool, but I can actually manually type in a value into any one of the 4 corners. If the lock is on, and it is on right now, and I type a value, say 20, all 4 corners will have a 20 millimeter corner radius applied. However, if I turn the lock off, I can just adjust one corner. So I adjust that to 5. So I'm just adjusting the one corner. And this is great if you require extreme accuracy to be able to type in a value. Here's the thing though, I want you to watch this. If I turn the lock back on, and let's say I add 5 to this one corner, so I'll type in a value of 10. What's going to happen is all 4 corners will have 5 added to them because 5 is the difference of what I've added there. Hit enter. So now we've got 25, 10 and 25. Can you see that? Very important to realize that. With that lock on, whatever you type into one box, that same amount will be applied to all 4 radiuses. Well, I'm just going to delete that and I'm going to draw another rectangle. Lock on, type in a value of 20. In X5, we have a number of additions. In fact, I'll drop that back to 10. One of the big ones is this one here, relative corner scaling. Now, this is not available in X4 and X3, a really great reason to upgrade. What this means is that as I resize this rectangle, the radius resizes with me. Now, I'll let go. Notice it went from 10 to 17. Again, if I shrink this down, it's gone from 17 down to 4.6. So the radius is adjusting as I resize. If I turn this off, which is how it works in X4 and X3, and then I resize, the radius remains the same, as you can see there. This can be a nuisance and really affect your final design if you need to resize it. It can really change the appearance of a design. So just remember that one. Leave that on unless you have a reason to turn it off. And last but not least, now in X5 we have the addition of 2 extra types of corners, a scalloped corner and a chamfered corner. Both really good for creating plaque effects and that type of thing. Well, there you go. Finally, with every one of the drawing tools, you always have the ability to adjust the outline thickness from the property bar. So again, if I were to select, say, 10, as you can see, I usually work with 1 or a little thinner than that. So with a little creativity, I can be, let's say, a little silly. Watch this. I'll click and drag, and I'll just draw close to a square. I'll grab my shape tool, and I'll round that corner off, click, round that one off just a little, this one a little more, and that one a little less. Should have clicked again on that one, so click again. So I've rounded all four corners a little differently. Plus on my keyboard, or don't forget Control C and Control V. Finger on Control, I'm going to flip that over, and just move it over a little bit. Then create another duplicate, plus on my keyboard. Shrink that duplicate right down, pop it there, plus on my keyboard, pop that over the other side, and I'll flip it over, finger on Control. I know I'm doing this very fast, and you can play with this in your own way. And I'm using nothing that I haven't taught you so far. So finger on Shift and select the two background ones, make them yellow, select both of those, make them blue, and I might actually shrink that down a little bit, yep. Shrink it down a little bit, pop those there, and I'll create another duplicate, plus on my keyboard, drag that down there, shrink it down, rotate round a little bit, like that, and plus on my keyboard, pull that down, close it up. Now, come on, you can't tell me that this is hard to do. There's nothing about this. I know it's a bit silly, really, in reality, but it's a bit of fun, and it puts to use what it is we've been learning. And there we go. So we've kind of got a square face going on. And I can make that green in colour. Now remember, it'll be on the top layer. Finger on Control, page down a few times, and we'll slowly go back down through the stacking order. And there we go, a silly face using rectangles. And that's probably a good experiment for you to try. It will hone your skills for our next lesson.